So, climbing the stairs. This is actually a really good cross section of the CLT plank floor. Now, if I had to guess, this is probably about 2 1/4 there. Those are 1.5 inch, another 2 1/4, 4.5, 7. It's probably about 9 inches or so of lumber there. It's pretty wild. You know, one of the beauties of CLT is that you can get a bunch of small lumber and make big things out of it. So you can see here, this is a really good example where they glue those pieces together. Another one over here. So, very, very cool. All right, let's continue to head upstairs. All right, so we made it up here. The second floor, like I said, inside the elevator shaft, it is all CLT too. Pretty wild. I mean, it's aesthetically, you know, beautiful stuff, but you got to remember, it is basically the structural panel to the system. So here you get to see on the other side a series of wooden columns or pilasters. And they actually receive each of those beams. On this side, we have a girder. Now, one of the interesting things is the connection in that system is internal to the beams, meaning there's not a whole lot of like outside structural stuff. I mean, here they appear to have a cap that is captured. But for the most part, one of the beauties of this stuff is it is just all wood everywhere you look. Pretty wild. Really like this stuff. I don't know if I would do a whole house out of it, but man, it would be pretty cool to do like the kitchen, dining, and living main spaces out of CLT and then do a frame project around it. Kind of a hybrid. So, all right, well, give it another shot at that beam, and let's go see what else we can find. All right, so jumped around the outside of the building up there, and you can see they're installing, those appear to be about 2x4 dimension, putting that rain screen on. It's interesting though, above the window there's a full block. Now, the rock wool has the capacity to allow water to move through it, but that does appear to be a giant dam. So it's I find it really interesting here that their technology is advanced in some ways, but in some ways it's rather archaic. So very, very interesting. You know, when you go to another region, what kind of translates into success. This is a good shot of that back wall there. You can see it's pretty much vertical, and then down the side here it's at that angle. But yeah, it's always interesting what translates into success. So let's go see what else we can find. All right, I jumped outside. Look at these window installs. I don't really have anybody here to ask serious questions, so I'll just throw them out there in the air to you. So they built this pan. You can see it's like 1/2 inch plywood. Turns up the corner 4 inches. So you go through all the trouble of protecting this, and look at here. Around the perimeter of the window, it's all just face sealed, and you can see in there. I'm going to try and zoom in, but you can see that sealant is not quite perfect. talking about right in that corner there, and you can see the wig lift. So, you know, the problem with this is systems are only as good as, you know, the person installing them. But face sealed system on the pan, no flashing there, and then you saw earlier where they had the rain screen, and there's no like head flashing. It's really weird. So I don't know, really interesting stuff. Let's go see what else we can find. All right, so we jumped on the other side. This is actually pretty interesting. So has a double rain screen there. Right, so I'm assuming it's going to get some type of vertical wood, and then you can see there's a sloped roof that comes off of that. It appears to be, I don't know, probably about 30 inches over that. And we can jump to this side here, and we can see exactly what it is we're talking about. And again, just go here. This is your standard kind of double rain screen. So you have the piece that goes up against, and then that can dry, and actually you can see the vent product down there. So it's actually pretty neat. And you can see that's why those sills were so far out. They have to extend all the way beyond that siding. So very interesting. And then of course, if you stood here, you get a good sense of that canopy just above the windows. So yeah, cool stuff happening. We'll go down here and actually let's just take the walk down. Take the walk down here. You can see they are actually a little further ahead. On this wall here, they have the rock wool on this wall facing us. They are actually installing the rock wool, so we'll get a good cross section here. You can see there's that cement board with the black fence trim, and that comes up. You know, it appears to be about 8 inches of rock wool. Yeah, you can see it's stepping up there, and then it basically is dimensionally similar to the framing there, so that'll hit right down, and then you see we have all of that, and then this is that screen material, so it's just at a simple little angle. It's the stuff that goes down at the bottom. I'm assuming they just nail it up like that. Put that on. These are interesting how they hold these 2x8s. That is extremely well braced. ABR something. See if I can capture the code there. I think that's a Simpson product, although it might be a Simpson European product. And then of course the Sega My Vest here. So cool stuff.